Dear students, today we are going to discuss about vector calculus. In this vector calculus, we have two topics. One is vector differentiation and then vector integration. First, we discuss about vector differentiation. Before going to discuss about vector differentiation, we'll go a small trip around the review of a vector. Means what is a vector, what is a scalar, and everything. Okay. So review of vector. We know that what is a scalar and everything. A physical quantity having only magnitude, no direction, is called as scalar. Similarly, a physical quantity having only both magnitude and direction is called as vector. Then what is zero vector? Whose magnitude is zero is called as zero vector. Then unit vector means whose magnitude is 1 is known as unit vector. The unit vector in the direction of A is denoted by A cap and it is defined by vector A divided by its magnitude. This is the unit vector in the direction of a vector A cap. Now we'll discuss two important basic operators of a vector, that is a dot product and a cross product. If you have a two vector, first vector A is equal to a19, a2j, a3k, and the second vector B is equal to b19, b2j, b3k. Then the dot product of the two vector is denoted by a dot b and it is defined by a dot b is equal to, observe the definition here, product of coefficients of I component, that is a1, b1, plus product of coefficients of j component, that is a2, b2, plus coefficients of k component, that is a3, b3. So this gives dot product of two vectors. So what is the geometrical interpretation of a dot product of two vector? That is, a geometrical definition is given by a dot b is equal to, observe the definitions here, magnitude of a into magnitude of b into cos theta. This gives geometrical interpretation of a dot product of two vector. What happens if the dot product of two vector is equal to 0? Remember that if the dot product of two vector is 0, we call the two vectors are perpendicular to each other. This is one basic definition, dot product of two vector. Now similar to that, we define another operator, that is a cross product of two vector. As usual, I will take two vectors, vector A and vector B. Then the cross product is denoted by A cross B and it is defined by in terms of a determinant, that is A cross B is equal to determinant of first row represents a I, j, k, that is a unit vector in the directions. The second row represents the coefficients of I, j, k from the first vector A. The third row represents the coefficients of I, j, k from the second vector B. This gives cross product of two vector. Geometrically, we can define this in the form of A cross B is equal to magnitude of A, magnitude of B into sine theta. We know if A dot B is equal to 0, we call the two vectors are perpendicular. Similar to that, here if A cross B is equal to 0, we call the two vectors are parallel to each other. Okay. To prove the two vectors are perpendicular to each other means we need to show the dot product of the given two vector is 0. To prove that two vectors are parallel to each other, we need to prove that the cross product of the two vector is 0. That's enough. Now we'll define some basic definitions of a scalar and a vector point functions. Here I am giving the definitions. It's very simple with an example. You go through these definitions. Now I will define some important concepts in a vector calculus, that is vector differential operator. This is very important throughout the model, not only in a vector differentiation, in vector integration also. This operator you're going to use in a signals, control system, vibrations, everywhere. You can't escape from the vector calculus in an engineering subjects. Okay. Del. This we read as del. Del denote the vector differential operator, and it is defined by, this is the definition of vector differential operator. Del is equal to partial derivative with respect to x into a unit vector I, partial derivative with respect to y into j component, partial derivative with respect to z into k component. Similar to this, we have another operator, we call it as Laplacian operator, denoted by del square. Del square is nothing but dot product of del with respect to same, the del dot del. That gives partial derivative, second order partial derivative with respect to x, second order partial derivative with respect to y, plus second order partial derivative with respect to z. This gives Laplacian operator. Now using these two operators, mainly the first one, vector differential operator del, we are going to define three important definitions. One is a gradient, the second one is a divergence, and then curl. These three are very important throughout the vector calculus. And in gradient we are going to define three more definitions, and here we are going to use these two for some important results. First, we'll go and discuss about the gradient of a scalar. What is a gradient? Gradient of a scalar field. Gradient we are going to define for a scalar. Let's consider phi of xyz be a continuously differentiable scalar point function. Then the gradient of a scalar field is denoted by grad phi or del phi. What is del? Vector differential operator. Okay, this is the notation for a gradient of a scalar, and it is defined by, observe the definition here, gradient of a scalar is equal to the partial derivative of the scalar with respect to x into I plus partial derivative of a given scalar with respect to y into j plus partial derivative of a given scalar with respect to z into k. This is the gradient of a scalar field. Observe, beginning we consider a scalar, but after applying the vector differential operator to the given scalar, this becomes a vector, because we have a unit vector components I, j, k, the directions towards I, j and k. So when you have a scalar, if you want to convert that into a vector function, apply vector differential operator to the given scalar, that converts into a vector point function. Now using this gradient of a scalar, we are going to define three more basic definitions. One is unit normal vector. So what is this? Gradient of a scalar is the normal vector to the surface phi of xyz is equal to c. Then the unit normal vector is denoted by n cap. This is the notation for a normal vector, unit normal vector, and it is defined by gradient of a scalar divided by its magnitude. Okay, unit normal vector of a given surface is nothing but the ratio of a gradient of a scalar divided by its magnitude. This is unit normal vector. Now when you have two surfaces, how to find the angle between the two surfaces? For that we are going to use this gradient concept. Now as usual, we have two surfaces. First surface is phi 1 of xyz is equal to c1, and another surface phi 2 is equal to c2. Then to find the angle between these two surfaces, first we need to find the gradient of a first surface phi 1, that is del phi 1, and the gradient of a second surface phi 2, that is del phi 2. We call these two as a normal vectors to the given surface. Then the formula is cos theta is equal to dot product of those two gradients, that is del phi 1 dot del phi 2 divided by the magnitude of individual gradients, that is magnitude of del phi 1 into magnitude of del phi 2. This gives the angle between the two surfaces. Now what happens if the del phi 1 dot del phi 2 is equal to 0? Then we call the two surfaces are orthogonal to each other. When theta is equal to pi by 2, this cos pi by 2 reduces to 0. That gives del phi 1 dot del phi 2 is equal to 0. So the angle is pi by 2 means the two surfaces are perpendicular to each other. So to prove the two surfaces are perpendicular to each other is nothing but we need to find the gradient of the two surfaces first and apply the dot product for those two gradient. The resultant reduces to 0. If the resultant is 0, we call the two surfaces are orthogonal to each other. Now the next, this is del phi 1 dot del phi 2 is equal to 0. Next I'm going to define directional derivatives. Once again I will consider some scalar phi of xyz is equal to c, and I will give one vector towards the direction d. Then the directional derivative of a scalar along the direction d is given by gradient of a scalar dot vector d. This gives directional derivative of a given scalar. Up to here we were discussing about the scalar, gradient of a scalar, unit normal vector, angle between the two surfaces and directional derivative. For this the requirement is gradient of a scalar. Now I will discuss about the vector point function, that is a divergence of a vector point function. So what is divergence of a vector point function? Consider a vector A is equal to a1i, a2j, a3k. This is a continuously differentiable vector point function. Then the divergence of a vector A is denoted by, this is div A, or another notation is del dot vector A. And it is defined by divergence of a vector A will denote in terms of del dot A. We know what is del. This is my vector differential operator, dot, this is the given vector. And we know how to apply a dot product. I coefficients, partial derivative of a1 with respect to x, plus now j coefficients, partial derivative of a2 with respect to y, plus now k coefficients, partial derivative of a3 with respect to z. This is a divergence of a vector. Observe, in the beginning we consider a vector with the directions I, j, k. Now observe the resultant, there is no I, j, k component. So this is a scalar. So when you apply a divergence, when you are going to find the divergence of a vector function, the resultant is a scalar point function. Okay. Now one more definition, curl of a vector point function. This is similar to the divergence. I will consider a vector A is a continuously differentiable vector point function. Then the curl of a vector A is denoted by curl A or del cross vector A. And it is defined by cross product. We are going to use the determinant concept. Del cross A is equal to, as usual, first row is a ijk component, second row is a partial derivatives with respect to x, y, z. That is, this is the first vector, the coefficient of del, I coefficients, j coefficients, k coefficients. And the third vector is A. Consider its coefficients a1, a2, a3. So expand this, you are going to get one more vector. This is a curl of a vector. Okay. Now using this, we are going to define some important results. If the divergence of a vector A is 0, then we call the given vector as a solenoidal vector. This is one important result. Sometimes we may ask what is a solenoidal vector. In that case, you need to prove divergence of a given vector is 0. Another one is irrotational vector. Irrotational vector is nothing but the curl of a vector A is 0. Then we call the given vector as irrotational vector or conservative force field. Sometimes we can generate the vector F by using a scalar field phi. That is, vector F is equal to gradient of a scalar field phi. This vector is called as, vector field is called as conservative force field, and that phi is called as scalar potential. Okay, remember these three concepts. In the problem, we are going to discuss about these three concepts. Show that the vectors are solenoidal, irrotational, or find a scalar potential. Find a scalar potential is nothing but we need to find out phi by using a given vector F. So this is very, very important throughout the model. The definition. The first definition is gradient of a scalar. Listen carefully. Gradient of a scalar is nothing but the partial derivative of a given scalar with respect to x into I plus partial derivative of a given scalar with respect to y into j plus partial derivative of a given scalar with respect to z into k. That is your scalar or gradient of a scalar. Using that, we are going to define unit vector, unit normal vector, angle between the two surfaces, and directional derivative. And the next definition is divergence of a vector. What is the divergence of a vector? Divergence of a vector is nothing but the partial derivative of a I coefficient with respect to x plus partial derivative of a j coefficient with respect to y plus partial derivative of a k coefficient with respect to z. That is your divergence of a vector. If a divergence of a vector is 0, we call that vector as solenoidal vector. Now curl of a vector A. Curl of a vector A is nothing but a determinant. The first row represents ijk. The second row represents the coefficients of ijk in a del, that is a vector differential operator. And the third row represents the coefficients of ijk from a given vector. Expand that determinant, you are going to get curl of a given vector. Means we are magnifying, we are changing the magnitude of a given vector. If curl of a vector A is 0, then we call that vector is irrotational vector. So concentrate on these definitions. In the next class, we are going to discuss the problems on this gradient, divergence, curl, unit vector, angle between the two surfaces, directional derivative, solenoidal, irrotational, and everything. Thank you.